Nigerian Senate has received 6 aviation bills from President Muhammadu Buhari for consideration and passage. The request is contained in a letter read on the floor of the Red Chamber by the President of the Senate, Ahmad Lawal. The bills include Civil Aviation Bill 2019, Federal Airport Authority Bill, Nigerian College of Airspace Management Establishment Bill, Nigerian College of Aviation Technology Bill 2019, Nigerian Meteorological Establishment Bill 2019, Nigerian Safety Bureau Establishment Bill 2019.
Dear distinguished Senate President, transmission of 6 aviation sector bills to the National Assembly for consideration and passage into law. Pursuant to Section 58 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I formally request that the following 6 bills be considered for passage into law by the Senate. A. Civil Aviation Bill 2019. B. Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria Bill 2019. C. Nigerian College of Airspace Management Agency Establishment, etc. Bill 2019. D. Nigerian College of Aviation Technology Establishment Bill 2019. E. Nigerian Meteorological Agency Establishment, etc. Bill 2019. And F. Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau Establishment, etc. Bill 2019. While I trust that these bills will be expeditiously and favorably considered by the Senate, please accept, Mr. Senate President, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Muhammadu Buhari. The clerk, please ensure that these bills are gazetted and distributed to all the distinguished senators.
In another development, Ibrahim Dambaba of the People Democratic Party has been sworn in as senator representing Sokoto South Central District. Senate President Ahmad Lawal administered the oath of office on Senator Dambaba during Tuesday plenary. Senator Dambaba replaced Shehu Tamboa of All Progressive Congress, who was sacked by the appeal court. The Nigerian Senate has urged the federal government to target the achievement of 100,000 megawatts of installed power capacity to match the size of Nigerian economy and improve its development status. The upper chamber is disturbed that the nation's current 330 kVA and 232 kVA cannot supply enough electricity because of transmission constraints due to lack of data acquisition system. These were part of the resolution by the Senate when a motion sponsored by Enugu North Senator Chukwuka Utazi came up for mention at the plenary. In his lead debate, Senator Utazi said negative effect of Nigerian power deficit continue to plague the economy, a fact that makes it imperative that urgent measures be taken to find a lasting solution.
This Senate projects that Nigeria can set a realizable target of generating the capacity of 100,000 megawatts to be achieved in the next 10 years with a national transmission wheeling capacity of the same amount of energy if it sets its mind to achieving it. This Senate convinced that this can be achieved if Nigeria makes use of its wonderful natural endowments to fuel its power needs. For instance, Nigeria can get energy from a mixed energy source, including natural gas, hydro, coal, wind, and the renewables, particularly solar energy. The Senate are aware that the various zones of the country are naturally positioned to take advantage of this energy mix and renewables. The northern part of this country, with vast expanse of land, can tap into large solar farms, while the southern parts of the country, with significant reserves of natural gas and coal, can generate power from the same. Both the north and south have large water bodies that can still be dammed for hydro.
In their various submissions The cross-section of the senator echoed the thought of the motion sponsor of the urgent need to address Nigerian power problem, noting that the far-reaching impact it will have on economic industrialization effort.
My thing is, what is wrong with us as Nigerians? Is this something we cannot do?
We can.
We can. We are brilliant. We have that human resources that is enviable across the world. But we now wonder, what is our problem? Leadership. Either we like it, either in the judiciary, in the legislature, in the executive.
So if you need 100,000 megawatts, we're talking about $200 billion. So I don't agree with those who sing these songs of sentiments of $16 billion has been put into power. $16 billion into power is like a drop of water in an ocean. But the issue, Mr. President, is those handling the power, especially the discourse, these are poor people comparatively to the power itself. So let's face reality. Our problem is that our nation again is over-centralized.
Equivalent to that produced by Spain, a nation that is 20 times lower in terms of population than sub-Saharan Africa. And Senator Utazi made mention of the Egyptian mega project that was executed by President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi between March 2017 to July 2018, where they were able to inject 14,400 megawatts into the power grid of that nation. The essential driving force for that success had to do with the fact that there was a direct government-to-company relationship. Egypt doesn't produce gas. They were importing gas, but they had a direct interface with GE that supplied the essential components that made them possible to generate 14,400 megawatts into the Egyptian national.
Mr. President, this is one sector in this country that Nigerians are being held hostage or let me say captive, because this is one sector that you have the generating sector companies, you have the transmission, you have the distribution. Those generating companies, Mr. President, generates 12 megawatts. Distribution companies distribute 12,000 megawatts. Distribution companies distribute 4,000 megawatts, while transmission companies transmit 7,000 megawatts. Mr. President, you and I know that with this, we don't use up to 12,000 megawatts, but we pay for it. We pay for it every month, and there is intimidation attached to it. This is one sector that you find an agreement with the federal government for up to 20 years. How can you enter into agreement for 20 years for some companies to produce power for you? How? And then certainly with that alone, we have become hostage. And this power we pay through our nose because we pay millions of dollars.
Also, the chamber resolved to hold a roundtable with the stakeholder in the nation power sector to address the issue and reposition the economy. In his ruling, President of the Senate, Lawal, noted that the roundtable on power must hold before the National Assembly heads for the Christmas break to ensure momentum in addressing the national problem.
Prior to, urge the federal government to target the achievement of 100,000 megawatts of installed capacity for the country to match the size of Nigeria's economy and improve its developmental status. Those in support of prior 2 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prior 3, urge the federal government to devise power generation models that are embedded at economic and industrial clusters, hinging around regional grids that are semi-autonomous but interconnected to the national grid. Those in favor of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you very much, distinguished colleagues. The additional prayer by the leader, I think we need to be a little bit firm with the arrangements. So I will suggest that, leader, you coordinate the roundtable thing. Let's have it 9th of December. Because if we leave it without any specific date, it could just fizzle out. So we start the arrangement because this is something that you need to invite a lot of people. So you should lead together. You lead the committee on power to make the arrangements. Thank you.
The upper chamber has urged the federal government to devise power generation model that are embedded at economic and industrial cluster, hinging around the regional grid that are semi-autonomous. The Nigerian Senate has charged Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) to put mechanism in place to check incidents of fraud and quackery in the medical profession, particularly in public hospitals. This resolution is sequel to a motion by Anambra Central Senator Uche Ekonife on the proliferation of fake medical reports emanating from public hospitals in Nigeria. The motion is aimed on the checking, among other things, the growing incidence of misdiagnosis and a common causes of death at the state-run hospitals in the country.
The Senate regrets that the integrity of the medical report is being compromised and eroded by the realization that it may not contain the true and accurate medical details of the person named in the report. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Senate accordingly resolves to direct the Federal Ministry of Health to set up an efficient and proper mechanism to identify and prevent this very dangerous trend in public hospitals, and also to urge Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) to identify its efforts, to intensify its efforts in checking incidences of fraud and quackery in the medical profession.
Speaking on the motion, cross-section of the lawmaker said there was a need to give crucial attention to the health sector.
Mr. President, there is no doubt that the Nigerian legal system depends to a large extent in some instances on medical reports to advocate on issues that border sometimes on criminality. And if medical reports are commercialized and can be purchased very freely and willingly, then, Mr. President, innocent persons are very vulnerable to conviction on criminal charges. Mr. President, the danger of this, even to our lives, is more worrisome.
If we are spiritually all right, which is what we should be, I don't think a sane doctor will sit down in his office and issue fake medical certificate full of lies to somebody who has come to me. Why not have the courage and tell, look, I will not do this. You are whole and healthy. Go to work or do this or do that. Or advise the person on the best way to go about it. But we just issue fake medical certificate with lies to the person, and the man will parade it and do whatever he wants to do with it, thereby damaging the image of himself, the doctor, the profession, and the country, and the economy of the country also. Therefore, Your Excellency, I agree with her that this should be stopped.
The Senate also directed the Federal Ministry of Health to set up an efficient and proper mechanism to identify and prevent dangerous trend of fake medical reports emanating from Nigerian public hospitals.
Discover the luxury at the heart of the ancient city of Benin, the Prestige Hotel and Suites, a fantasy-like journey into a premium luxury. Its 3 minutes proximity to Benin Airport makes it preferable to other hotels, offering the best executive rooms and suites, swimming pool, gym and game center, having access to Benin Airport area view, and with our top-notch event center to cater for your social and corporate events. Any of our rooms comes with a complimentary breakfast. The Prestige Hotel and Suites offers guests a perfect blend of relaxation, business, and pleasure. We're located at number 1 Ihama Road, Airport Junction, Benin City, Nigeria. You can call us on 080-1519-74044, or you can visit our website at www.prestigehotel.com.ng. You can also email us at info@prestigehotel.com.ng. The Prestige Hotel and Suites, a world-class hospitality.
Department of State Service has maintained its stand on the continued detention of Nigerian human rights activist Omoyele Sowore, that it cannot release him to protest mob. Briefing journalists in Abuja, the spokesperson of the service, Noshiru Onye Afunaya, said the service cannot allow Sowore without administrative procedure.
I have no doubt that the issue that every person wants to hear is concerning Sowore, Omoloye Sowore. We have issued statements in the last weeks, and the statements were unambiguous. They were straight, they were direct, they were plain, and at all times we were explaining our stand on issues. That he was granted bail by the court, yes, we said we received the court order. Now, every legislative enactment and the judicial pronouncement needs to be enforced. And that is why there are law enforcement agencies, operatives. The idea is that, you know, when these laws are made, they are also enforced.
He admitted that though the court order was received by the service, but nobody has come to undergo the said administrative procedure for him to be released. Afunaya cited an instance of Nnamdi Kanu, who was released without the due procedure, is at large and no one to be held responsible, adding that the service had no doubt to maintain its stand to protecting the nation and Nigerians. He maintained that the secret police was following administrative procedure by insisting that Sowore Shorty come forward for proper documentation.
If Sowore was granted bail, and we said, and he was in our custody, and we said, yes, you have been granted bail, now, do we bring Sowore at the gate and ask him to go? Is it a discharge of responsibility that we do that? What if Sowore was going on the road and he was knocked down by a car? We said people who should take Sowore through proper documentation had not come. And they didn't come, and up till now they didn't. Rather, what some experienced persons, people who ordinarily should be respected, came out to say was that some people came and they didn't see us. And we said this and we said that. That is not true. Miscreants, protesters, and some people who were not parties, unqualified, to stand and document properly and take responsibility that Sowore had been released to them, did not come.
Few days ago, a group of protesters led by DJ Adeyanju alleged they have been given 1 million to stop the protest demanding Sowore release. DSS, however, said it will release Sowore if his surety come forward for documentation. The organizer of Soccer Star Project, a grassroots-based football talent-owned initiative, have announced that 150 young Nigerians are selected for mentorship and endorsement for professional football career. The 60-goal Soccer Star Project and Ned Nwoko Foundation, organizer of the initiative, made the announcement at the press conference in Abuja. Jane Indibusi, national coordinator of the project, said the football younger stars were selected from screening by the group in Lagos, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Anambra State, and Federal Capital Territory (FCT) for the first phase of the project. Ondubusi, who is also the FIFA intermediary agent, said the young footballer will be camped, mentored, and recommended for football agents, club, and partners of the project, both within and outside the shore of the country.
Soccer Stars project is a grassroots project that has been going state to scout for youth grassroots players across Nigeria, across the states. We have been doing pre-screening, going around, searching for states, trying to see how we can get this raw talent. And we want to appreciate Nigeria because Nigeria have this talent. And we are doing all we can to scout the best talent in the world, to push out to the world. And we know that someday the best African footballer is going to come out of South Africa because we are doing everything we can to search for this raw talent. Thank you very much for coming.
Also speaking, Francis Nkeshuku, the initiative project director and the former national under-23 player, said Nigeria is blessed with abundant talent, but they need platforms like this to showcase themselves. Ex-international footballer John Fachanu, who represented Ned Nwoko Foundation, congratulated the selected youth and urged them to remain focused in order to stand out as they begin their professional football life.
Football is not a game. Football is a way of life. I played the game for 35 years, and there's not one day I've not said I've regretted it. Every day I thank God for making me a professional footballer. What Prince Ned, the Ned Nwoko Foundation, and 60 Goals have brought together is something phenomenal. This is incredible. When I look at some of the legends, some of the people who are able to select the best players, some people who are able to select the players who have the right characters. It's not all about what you do on the pitch. We don't want players who are going to mess up when they go to Europe to play. This has been put together in a matter of months. And I congratulate everybody. The Ned Nwoko Foundation, we get on literally. He was astounded when I told him that 150 players have been selected.
Ned Nwoko Foundation, as always, is willing to support this project to ensure that young Nigerians realize their dream.